oftentimes the brain just tricks us into not wanting to start out to do something because you already feel like you're going to fail, and nobody wants to feel like they're failing. So instead of me to do it and fail at it, I'd rather not do it at all. You know how we are seated with somebody and everywhere just calm, quiet, the person doesn't have anything to say, you also do not have anything to say, but you're suddenly uncomfortable. You just feel like that void has to be filled. It's dopamine.
Tell me now, you're the one I've been dreaming about for my whole life. Had you on my mind? Oh.
My name is Ezine if you're new here, and I like to talk about skincare, lifestyle, and self-care. But today's video is a little different because while I like to talk about skincare, I wanted to share my top 10 books that have changed my mindset, that has helped me break bad habits and genuinely changed the way that I think. These books has also helped me see things, life, and a lot of situations from a fresh perspective. So if you're trying to grow mentally, spiritually, and emotionally, I believe that at least one of these books here is for you. So let's get into it. The first book on my list here is Dopamin Detox. This book focuses on how constant stimulations like social media, junk food, instant gratification are killing your ability to focus. What I gained from this book, that I also believe you're going to gain from this book, is awareness. The book made me aware of just how much time I reach out to pick up my phone subconsciously without even thinking about it, and how easy it was for me to procrastinate, and how uncomfortable silence can feel, and just feeling the need to fill in the silence with something. You know how we are seated with somebody and everywhere just calm, quiet, the person doesn't have anything to say, you also do not have anything to say, but you're suddenly uncomfortable. You just feel like that void has to be filled. It's dopamine. So I think you should get your hands on this book. I highly recommend. The next book on my list is The Psychology of Laziness by Mohammed Shakil. First of all, what caught my attention was the title. It was just very catchy. I'm like, huh? There's a psychology around laziness. So now this book talks about laziness, not in a judgmental way, but more in a psychological way. Why we have little or no motivation to do the things that we plan to do or the things that we've set out to do. It also talks about how that sometimes we're not even lazy at all. Sometimes our issue is just we probably do not even have self-esteem. Don't even think that it's something that we can embark on and finish. And oftentimes the brain just tricks us into not wanting to start out to do something because you already feel like you're going to fail, and nobody wants to feel like they're failing. So instead of me to do it and fail at it, I'd rather not do it at all. What I've gained from this book, and I believe you also gained from this book, is compassion for myself. We are not exactly lazy. We just do not have the motivation to do it. And it also helped me ask questions like, is it that I am procrastinating, or is it that I do not know how to go about doing it? Or is it that I'm afraid that I'm going to fail at it? It helps you ask the right questions like, why am I not moving my hands to do what I want to do? This book encourages breaking tasks into smaller steps, building self-discipline gradually, and addressing the root cause of avoidance. So if you struggle with that, I think you should get your hands on this book. The next book on my list is The Mountain Is You by Brianna Wiest. This book talks about self-sabotage. It talks about how we stand in the way of our own success. This is just a simple way, a very plain way to put it. How sometimes the things that are limiting us are usually not even people, circumstances, and all these other things that we like to blame for our failures. But oftentimes our biggest obstacle is ourselves. What I gained from this book is clarity. It helps me ask questions and try to understand why I react the way I do, what my triggers are, why am I acting that way, why am I angry, why am I sad. If you're on a healing journey and you're trying to understand yourself a bit more, this book feels like therapy in a written form, so I highly do recommend it. In fact, if you're going to read only one of the books that are here, I recommend that you read this and Dopamin Detox. But again, I do not have favorites. So the next book on my list is this book by Mark Manson. This is actually one of my favorite authors. The Subtle Art of Not Giving a. This book, unlike, it's not your conventional motivational books really. It's not telling you how that you should just be positive all the time, spread love and light. This book just tells you that in this world there will be problems. What you have to do is to pick your problems wisely. Pick the one you want to solve. This book just tells you that, see, there are so many things screaming for your attention. You have to pick your struggles. Imagine your problem being, oh, what does this person think about me? That's like bothering yourself about little, tiny, inconsequential things. You are giving your attention or your F to something that is not worth giving an F about. What I gained from this book is the permission to stop people pleasing. And I think you're going to benefit from that too. I became more comfortable setting boundaries and sticking to them, saying no and offended, or feeling like I've offended someone, and actually disappointing people when necessary, and just focusing on what truly matters to me. The next book on my list is Everybody's favorite, Atomic Habit by James Clear. This book talks about how habits, when compounded over time consistently, can yield positive results. It also talks about practical steps on building new habits and breaking old ones. What I gained from this book is a shift from motivations to system. Instead of having a very huge burst of energy and excitement and doing it only once, how to create systems that support that motivation so that your motivation doesn't dwindle away like your New Year resolution. You know how in the first week of the new year you feel like you're about to take over the world and you set goals and all of those things. Now, what prevents you from following through? And you come to December and you're shocked that you've not achieved nothing is not having systems. The next book on my list is A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle. This book is more of a spiritual book. It talks about ego, consciousness, and constantly living in the present instead of being fixated on past regrets or future anxiety. What I gained from this book is inner peace. I feel it's something everyone is going to gain from this book. Inner peace. It helped me to be more aware of myself and my thoughts. Just be more aware of my thoughts instead of being controlled by my thoughts. If you are interested in spiritual growth, self-awareness, and finding meaning beyond material things, this book is something that I would highly recommend. Next book on our list is Good Vibes, Good Life. This book focuses on self-love, positive thinking, and emotional healing. It talks about how that your relationship with yourself affects all the other areas of your life. What I gained from this book is a gentler relationship with myself. It helped me to be a bit more kind to myself and begin to practice things like affirmation, gratitude, and protecting my energy. Next book on my list is The Gift. I got the book as a gift. Ego is the Enemy by Ryan Holiday. This book talks about how ego can destroy everything in your life, your success, your relationships, your growth. Ego can destroy it, and how ego can come up like the constant need for validation, insecurity, arrogance, how this can damage our relationships. What I gained from this book, and I think you're going to gain from this book, is humility. If you're someone who's looking for long-term success and growth, this book is going to help you stay grounded. The next book on my list can actually pass for one of my favorite books, Surrounded by Idiots by Thomas Erickson. The first time I saw this book, I instantly knew I was going to read it because I was also drawn to the title. One of the things that this book talks about is it groups people's different personality types into colors and just groups it into red, yellow, green, and blue. And it explains how these different colors or personalities behave, how they react, and how to best communicate to them. One of the things I benefited from this book is clear communication. It really helped me a lot, especially in my workplace, because after reading it, I started to profile people. I'm like, so you're blue, oh, you're yellow. And it helped me better understand how to communicate effectively to these different people. And if you're wanting to improve your communication, especially at work and really other areas of your life, I'm going to recommend this book a lot. This book also helped me to be less judgmental about people and be a bit more patient and learn to understand them. The next book on my list is The Courage to be Disliked. This book, I bought it when I was in a very low point in my life. I really needed something to help me stay grounded, and I felt like I was being misunderstood a lot. And I just realized that, you know what, it's actually okay that people misunderstand you. What is not okay is you wanting everybody to like you. They can't like you. That was around the period when I bought this book, because when I said, I was like, oh yeah, this book really speaks to my situation. One of the things this book touches on is how that you are responsible for your happiness. You do not need anybody to be happy, to be really happy. People can come into your life and add joy to your life, but your happiness is not dependent on other people. You have to be the one stewarding your own happiness, and also that you don't need everybody's approval. What I gained from this book is emotional independence. I needed it when I got it. I wish I had read it earlier, but it still did come in very handy. One thing I benefited from this book is that it helped me to make decisions based on my own values and my preferences, and not really being fixated on pleasing people. So these are the 10 books that I plan to talk about in this video. Because I'm a very nice person, I'm going to be throwing in one extra, and this one is from Jim Camp, Starting with No. This book is about negotiation. This book also teaches that saying no is not negative. It helps you build confidence. The book teaches you about building confidence in negotiation and in communicating. What I gained from this book is confidence in conversation. I also learned to ask better questions, stand firm on my boundaries, and avoid being manipulated. This book is also a communication book. It helps you to communicate your thoughts and your no without ambiguity. So I highly recommend that you read it. So that's 11 books in total. So I'm sure that there are a number of books here that you've already read. So do tell me if there's any of the books here that you've read, and if you currently have any favorites among them. And if you think that there's a book that should be here that I don't currently own and you would like to recommend that book to me, please shoot it my way. I would love to hear from you in the comment section. So yeah, this is not the regular video that we put out here, but I am a very diverse human being, and I like that my diversity shows in the videos that I put out. I do love skincare so much. I talk about it a lot. I consult, I recommend products to people. I even sell skincare products. However, that's not the only thing about my life. There are other areas of my life that I am very, very thrilled to want to put out here as well, and this is one of them. So let me know if you want me to create videos like this a bit more, and yeah, share with me your favorite book and which of the books you're going to read first. I cannot wait to hear from you. So till I come your way next time, my name is Ezine. Bye.